You've decided to start teaching. Now what? In this video, I'm going to share 5 important lessons that I learned in my over 20 years of teaching singing so you can get started right. Singers, actors, dancers, musicians, circus performers, magicians, any kind of performing artist. Why teach? Do you teach? Why should you teach? Well, it's a great way to diversify your income with a secondary stream of income on top of your performing. It honestly will make you better at your craft. Teaching is not easy, and being able to actually explain things to help other people get better at what it is that you do will actually make you better too. And then on top of that, you're leaving a legacy. The positive ripples that go out into the world of you helping another person to become better at your art form are magic and, in my opinion, magnificent. Hi, I'm Fiona, and it is my passion to help performing artists to master social media and online business so you can make more money from your art without burning out and wasting time. Here's the thing. Before I became a business coach and online personality, I was a singing teacher for over 20 years, and I took one-to-one lessons with phenomenal voice teachers and acting coaches and opera teachers for over 30 years as well. On top of that, I earned my MM degree in vocal performance, and I know for certain that teaching is a great alternative to your day job if you have one. It was a massive positive change when I gave up waitressing and working in coffee shops to actually teaching voice. Suddenly I was in charge of my own schedule. I made a lot more money, and it was really, really satisfying. By the way, I've got a whole stream of videos on starting your voice studio, the idea of teaching as an alternative to your day job. And here is the playlist. Open it in a new window so you can watch it after you finish watching this one. Our topic today is getting started as a teacher, because yes, it can be a little bit scary, especially when you're first starting out. But with a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of planning, you are going to be great. And here's the thing, my experience is as a singing teacher, but that's not all. I've taken dance classes, I've taken acting classes, I've even taught acting. So I'm speaking from experience when I say that whatever it is that you know as a multi-passionate performing artist, you can also teach it. Tip 1, handle your mindset. Handle the imposter syndrome. You've been a student. You know what makes a good teacher. You know your art form. You've been studying it a long time. You've been performing for a while, right? If these things are true, then you can trust that you have a wealth of knowledge that you can, in fact, share with your new students. Remember, your dream students at this stage, when you're just starting out, they don't know as much as you. They don't have to be 10 million steps behind you. They can be just 1 or 2 steps behind you, and you'll have a lot to offer them. In fact, sometimes it can be really beneficial to study with someone who's not quite as far ahead. It can be less intimidating, and it can also be really inspiring. So another way of handling this fear when you're first starting out is to actually have a plan for the lessons. So at all of your first lessons, make sure you literally do have a step-by-step plan, especially if you're a planning type. Now, if you're somebody who really prefers to be more spontaneous, that's your personality type, then maybe just an outline with bullets is all you're going to need. What this looked like for me was at the very first lesson of any new student, I had this sort of icebreaker interview that I would do. So I had a sheet of paper and I would ask them their name and their phone number, so I had it in one place. Every student got a folder where I could keep notes, and then I would take them through this interview, which would usually last about half of the lesson. And what this did was it really broke the ice between me and the student. It also set a foundation for me understanding what their goals were and for them to really feel heard and understood right from the beginning. And then at the end of the lesson, I would give them a homework sheet. And so this actually looked like the 2 pieces of paper that are stuck together, and when you write on the top, it goes into the bottom one as well, so that I would take off the top and I would give them their homework to take with them, and I would keep the bottom part and I would put it into their folder. Now, that piece of paper or I don't remember what that thing is called, maybe it was like mimeograph or something, but that paper that I would give them, it was branded. So it had the name of my voice studio at the top and my address and my contact info, and it looked looked pretty. So it added a little bit of premium value to the experience. And then they would take their part with them and know exactly what they were supposed to practice. And then for me, right before the lesson started, I could pull out their folder and see exactly what it was that we had worked on. So I had a starting place of where we were. And so on that sheet that I would give them was a combination of my notes from the lesson that were for them to remember, but also for me to remember, and the homework assignment. So I knew exactly what I wanted to ask them at the top of the lesson. Can you see how grounding that is and how much that would give you a sense of, oh, okay, I know exactly where I am. I'm grounded in this moment with this student, rather than the like, this is only the second lesson or the third lesson. What do I do? What were we working on? Oh, I'm a little confused. No, instead of that, it's like, oh yeah, I know exactly where I am. It makes you look and feel very professional. But this is a hack, right? I mean, it's a very sensible strategy, but this will help you as you're getting started teaching to feel confident. Sound good? Okay, now here's something not to do in your lessons, and that is to talk too much. I have a video right here about getting ghosted by students, and this will happen a lot if you are just over-explaining, telling too many stories, making the lesson about you instead of the student. Don't do that, all right? All right, now tip 3 is to take this business seriously from the very beginning. This does not mean that you need to have your LLC set up, but it does mean that you want to have some kind of contract or studio policy in place to have the student sign at the very beginning so that everybody knows what your cancellation policy is and whatever other policies you may have, right? You need to let the student know what your boundaries are so that you actually can stand firm in your boundaries yourself, especially if you're the kind of person who wants to please other people and wants to take care of them, like most teachers are. And then I also highly recommend having some kind of recurring payment processing. Highly encourage you to charge by the month rather than by the lesson, and make sure you can take credit cards. Don't just take Venmo and PayPal, unless you've got your PayPal set up with recurring subscription. All right? This may freak you out, like, oh, Fiona, how am I supposed to handle that? But honestly, just Google it. It's not a hard thing to do. Okay? And you will be so much happier when you have that recurring income that you can actually count on and know what you should expect every month, instead of just people canceling whenever they want and you not knowing how much you're supposed to make that month. Now, even though you're just getting started, it's not too early to think about marketing and think about retention. For example, part of your marketing could be offering lesson packages where your students benefit from buying more at once. Another thing could be a bonus for referrals. So you could give a free lesson to any student who refers a new student to you who signs up for a package. These are all great in-person marketing strategies. And then of course you want to start developing an online presence as well. So we've got your offline strategies and your online strategies. For more about marketing yourself online as a teacher, you could watch this video next as well. Now, if you're serious about leveraging social media to actually build a profitable business, I highly encourage you to check out my program, The Profitable Performer Revolution. It is all about the mindset, marketing, and monetization strategies you need to build your business, brand, and bank account using social media and online business strategies. You can hop on the waitlist via the link below. Because by the way, it will also teach you how to sell. And this is going to help you not only build your studio, but also to build your fan base. Now, the next thing is to remember what it's like to be a student. I hope you're still taking lessons and remembering what it's like to be a student. Think about those teachers who really had a positive impact on you. What about them made you think they were so good? What about them helped you to learn? What about the teachers that were a drag? What about the teachers that made you feel bad and made you ghost? What are the things that you want to avoid in your own teaching? Learn from your past experiences. So how can you emulate what you loved and discard and avoid the things that did not work for you? So I hope that you can see now, with a little bit of strategy, you can in fact start teaching as soon as you want. These are some great tips to do just that. And if you're still like, oh, I'm a little bit scared to get started, then just really drill in on that mindset part. Go back to the beginning of this video, what I said about you just needing to be one step ahead of your dream student. And if you have already started, then really lean into your marketing and how you can maintain your studio with retention and referrals of your current students. Now, if you found this video useful, I hope you will subscribe to the channel and follow me on all the other socials. Definitely join my free Facebook group. I made it especially for the entrepreneurial, multi-passionate performing artist. Now you're like, okay, I am so excited. I'm here, Fiona. I'm doing it. I'm starting my voice studio, but how do I get my first paid student? Watch this video next. And as always, go out into the world and let your light shine. You deserve to be heard, and the world deserves to hear you.